I scalped tickets and toys to pay off debt and buy a home. I resold tickets and toys to pay off my debts and to help buy a house. It started off as kind of an accident. I had bought $400 worth of tickets to an event that I ended up not being able to attend. I also was not in a situation where I could eat the tickets, so I decided to sell them. I had never sold tickets before, and at the time, the only options I heard of was Craigslist and StubHub. I listed my tickets as the cheapest option on StubHub, and to my surprise, made $1,200 after paying StubHub their cut. After experiencing easy money, I did research on how I could make more. I did research on venues, bands, trends, and I got pretty good, making extra money off the tickets. I found communities that shared pre-sale codes and learned how to market and time my ticket sales. I never ate a ticket, and only one time wasn't able to sell over Face. Money rolled in. I learned I could sell tickets for local shows on StubHub that didn't even sell out. I would sell tickets at scalper prices and then go buy the tickets to fulfill the order. It was crazy to me that people didn't do any research before buying tickets. I tried my hand at reselling holiday toys and game consoles. While I made money, I didn't enjoy meeting up with my customers and also came across people who would flake out. All in all, I paid off between $20,000 and $30,000 of outstanding debt. I was also able to put down a healthy down payment on a home. Part of me feels bad, and I will never do it again. But I was selling luxury goods to people who were willing to pay, so the guilt only hit so deep. But I am sorry. I inappropriately touched someone when I was 14 and don't know how to handle it. Basically, when I was about 14, I briefly inappropriately rubbed someone through their pants, unprompted and without consent. We were play fighting, and my foot landed on their privates, and I wiggled my toe. They were 3 years younger than me. It only lasted about a second, and I immediately felt weird about it and removed myself from the situation. I didn't even enjoy it. It was more like I just had the thought and was curious what would happen. Never did anything else like that again, or even thought about it. I forgot it happened until recently. It dawned on me that it was sexual assault, and I've been overwhelmed with guilt. I feel like I can't live with myself anymore, and it's a struggle just to make it through every day. I found porn at a young age and developed an unhealthy relationship with it. I tried to tell myself that's what caused it, but it's not an excuse. I just don't know what to do anymore. I told my therapist, who told me that it's not that bad and not terribly uncommon for kids that age, and I should move on. I just can't forgive myself. Do I deserve a second chance to move on? I just got into a fight with my loser father-in-law. My father-in-law often finds himself out of money or a job and has to come and stay with us. It's always self-inflicted. Bad decisions, being selfish, or just trying to be cool and blow money for women. I do feel sympathy at times. However, he never changes and has mooched off so many people that we are some of the last ones willing to give him a place to stay. He has been manipulative at times, making my wife feel bad for him and basically using it as a way to excuse being a shitty dad. Anyway, he is lazy as hell. He works from home a couple days a week, and then he's playing on fucking TikTok. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here at this point? Then he got annoyed with my wife for something and gave her a disrespectful ass look. So I went to speak to him about his plans to get out of here. When I suggested a second job, he was immediately seeming against it. So I said, "Look, man, you are being lazy, and there is no reason you shouldn't be working more. You have no other responsibilities but to take care of yourself, and there's no excuse to not be able to do that." This man started fuming at me, ATME. The person letting him stay even though I think he is a user and manipulator. He has a terrible temper, and I've seen him act like this before. But I've known him since I was like 15, and I'm 26 now. I'm not going to have this man act like that in my house. He was like snarling at me, so I balled my fist and took a step back. He started to reach out for me, and I had the craziest tunnel vision and energy like I've never had before. I threw a punch down the middle, and it made him stumble forward into me. I grabbed him around the neck and guillotine choked him to sleep. My poor wife was freaking out, and I comforted her while he got up and kept cussing and saying everyone hates him, blah blah. He left, and nobody has heard from him since yesterday morning. I cannot get over my hatred for babies, no matter what I do. First off, I would never harm a baby, but I can't stand them. I can't wrap my head around how stupid and helpless they are. They are selfish, and I know people say that's because they have to survive, so they need to be selfish, but I still can't stand it. I don't believe they deserve to be loved or breastfed. They get a handout for ruining our body, our mental and our well-being. They don't care if we're sick. They don't care if we haven't had a shower. They don't care if mom's tired, and I hate it. They are burdens, and they are not miracles. They are actually the complete opposite. I used to think my town was under attack by the government. I live in a rough area, basically the hood. There's shootings and stuff, not very, very poor, just a lot of gang activity. Anyways, in 2023, before my grandma died, she sat me and my cousins down and told us she thinks the government is sending people here to keep the poverty. The reason she thinks this is because since she's been here over 53 years, she was old as fuck. Two men from the suburb always comes to our local church and promises our pastor to give the less poor parts of our town supply and hygiene, and claim they're sent from our city's mayor. I know these men. They don't spend much time around here, and they're pretty cool dudes. One of them was named Brian, the other is named Philip. Never spoke to them personally. But they're old guys with sons that come around the churches only around the times crime rates are down, and so are arrests. Basically, when the neighborhood is quiet and no recent crime news. And then, after they leave, drug rates would go up, and so would crime rates. Never really thought it's their fault, though. And honestly think it's a coincidence. But then in early 2024, when I was low-key, kinda unemployed as fuck and sad, my grandma died, and I went on a deep dive on Ohio history and found some sketchy stuff that could prove my grandma's theory. And so, I believed it for some time. And even though Brian and Philip and their sons, Brian has one son, Philip has two, come around and crime and drug rates do still go up, I don't really believe It's the government doing anything honestly. Maybe, but I'm too busy to be caring. Anyways, I don't know. Kinda bored. Thought I'd share this dumb-ass story. I used to steal from my dad and hide the money in my mom's bags. My mom was a teacher, and my dad was in a managerial position in a government organization. He always say he didn't have money, but I'd always find big wads of money in his pockets when cleaning their room. I was 12 or 13 at the time. I'd take about 2 notes and leave it in my mom's bags and watch her beam when she'd find money she thought she forgot about. My dad was the type of person who'd tell the driver to stop picking me up from school when he'd fight with my mom, knowing she wouldn't have money to give me to make sure I got home safely. Or even buy fuel to pick me up from school. I hated seeing my mom struggling to make ends meet when I knew my dad had so much money. I have so much regret now that he's gone.